Today's episode is brought to you by Safe Studio, a game-changing platform to learn and practice safe, featuring self-paced learning, guidance to apply key concepts to your role, and video tutorials. Check it out today. Now back to the show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Cuenca. I'm a SAFE Fellow, SPCT, and Principal Consultant with Icon Agility Services. So I'm here today to share some information regarding a tactical tip about transformations. Really, Agile tooling in a lot of the transformations that I've been involved in, especially if they weren't ones where I originated them, seem to be an afterthought. And I really always see Agile tooling as a key transformation enabler. Rather than being an afterthought, it should be one of the primary purposes and goals of our transformation team or LACE or whoever is leading your transformation. As we all know, many organizations struggle with gathering and measuring information, especially at scale. And that leads to a lot of waste, right? Because we can't fix what we can't see. And we get waning buy-in over time because the folks that are funding our transformation efforts can't see the value in the Agile transformation. So as we start looking across the industry today, where we see a lot of organizations struggling with their transformation, while they may have originated their transformation efforts by heavily investing in coaches that help them move to Agile ways of working using things like the Scaled Agile framework, over time that buy-in may start to wane if we don't have a good way to visualize how we're progressing, to be able to measure the improvements that we're making, and tooling is at the heart of that. So I want to make sure as we start thinking about, what are some things we can be doing, that when we get started with transformation efforts, one of the very early things that should be a focal point as we move to change to more Agile ways of working is to take a look at how we've set up our tooling to support our vision of the future with our transformation, right? So yes, we need both, right? Tooling is meant to enable Agile ways of working, and you can't have one without the other. I've seen transformations where, people thought they could just, stand up a particular Agile tool. Sometimes those are called enterprise Agile planning tools. Sometimes they're called Agile application life management or ALM tools. But whatever tooling you're using that gives visibility is really important to set up early on. And without that, your transformation may struggle. So as we all know, data drives decision-making, and part of setting up your initial tooling is making sure that we can capture baselines in the very beginning to understand what's our starting point, flow metrics today in terms of how long does it take to get things out to market, in terms of our ability to have consistent throughput and velocity, and using that data for our key change agents, like our Scrum Masters and team coaches, our release train engineers, our folks that are operating the portfolio in the value management office, baselining it first, identifying the metrics in your tooling that you're going to want to be able to track over time, and setting up your tooling to where you can easily aggregate the data. Remember that they're meant to be an aid to help us mature over time, and also provide progress that the Agile ways of working that we're moving towards are actually getting us benefits that were better than our ways of working before. And metrics are going to help us do that. And the tooling is key to being able to get those metrics and be able to provide that transparency. So not only do we need, data for our teams, we also need them at a team of teams level, and also at a value stream and portfolio level, so that we can get that aggregated view. I've used a lot of the major Agile tools today, and I know the pros and cons of each. I can provide much more insights than this podcast is going to allow me time for. But the key to success is always making sure, as you think about your transformation goals and the key pillars that your transformation team or LACE are going to align around, is to make sure that you've got tooling as one of those key pillars. We want to make sure that we're leveraging the tooling, that we choose the right type of tooling based on our goals, and that, we have the ability to not only measure and help support our teams as they go through this journey with the tooling, but also transformation metrics, being able to show that we as a transformation team leading this effort have the tools configured in such a way that we can show that we're also making progress in our transformation goals, and leveraging the KPIs and data that come from our teams through our tooling to provide measurable evidence that we're actually achieving those goals. So in essence, my main tip here is, as you get started helping your organization move forward with Agile ways of working, if you haven't already done so, take a look at how your tools are configured to support your process. Make sure you've got metrics baselines so that you have a starting point to identify, how you're going to move forward and where you started from, so that you can show measurable evidence over a period of time that you're actually achieving those goals, and provide that data so that your change agents have the help that they need at their fingertips, as well as providing that strategic visibility for your overall transformation efforts to make sure that those that are funding your transformation can see that you're making visible progress in your transformation efforts. Happy to talk more in the future about pros and cons and about any specific tooling. Thank you for giving me the time today to be able to give you this tactical tip, and I hope that helps you in your transformation efforts. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
This episode is brought to you by the 2025 SAFE Summit, Sorrento, Italy. Want to meet experts and grow your network in a stunning setting? Register now for the 2025 SAFE Summit, Sorrento, Italy at safesummit.com. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you like what you hear, please refer us to your friends and colleagues and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Adam Mattis. See you next time.